What's going on, beautiful people? Welcome back to another MD Fish Tanks build video. Today I'm doing something a little bit different. I've never tried this before. Not really seen it done online actually as well, in the way I'm going to do it. Hopefully it works. So this right here is my current golden ram tank. Where is he? There he is. There's my golden ram, and we've got about 5 or 6, I think. Or, yeah, five ember tetras dotted about. Now I set this up as sort of like a minimalist look, and it's not really my kind of thing, to be honest. I didn't know that at the time. I just thought I'd give it a go, show what else can be done, different styles, but I want to change it up. And what I want to do is make a proper nature style planted aquarium, a bit like the one on the opposite side. Not the same. I want to use different plants, different colour plants, that sort of thing. Different shape layout probably as well. Well, it'll be triangular like this one, but the opposite corner, so that it all sort of points into the middle. Eventually I'm going to change this up for another tank. Anyway, that's not the point. What I want to do is use this stuff, Aquatic Compost. So this is for like pond plants. You know, you see pond plants in like a plastic bucket thing that's all perforated. They have this in it. That sits in the water, and the plants grow absolutely great. And I'm thinking, if they grow that great, why can't we use it in our aquarium and cap over the top of it with sand? Now obviously this isn't too dissimilar to the Diana Wolstad method, you know, where you just put like potting soil in the aquarium as a base, cap it over with sand or gravel, and then you just plant plants in, and absolutely everything grows immense and looks great. Point is that this is designed for aquatic plants. It's designed to be submerged underwater. I'm thinking it might be a bit of a safer bet as well, because it's actually had certain elements removed. Like, it's not going to just put a ton of nitrate into the water, and it should be able to be cycled straight away, to be honest, especially considering the fact that I've got an already cycled filter on the tank. Job number one though is going to be to get everything out and then drain the water down so I can catch the fish and move them over into one of the storage tanks. I'm thinking that one always works quite well, especially as all this pearlweed is no longer rooted and I can just lift it out to get the fish out. That makes it so much easier. Yeah, that's deliberately kept low, by the way, guys. It was a bit higher than that, but it's kept low, so when I do put fish in there, they don't jump out. Right, that's everything out the tank. Now you can see here the tank suffered from a bit of a cyanobacteria outbreak. I normally treat that with a bit of the special chemi-clean, that kind of thing, but it's quite expensive stuff because I have to import it, and I just thought, well, I knew I was changing this, so I didn't want to waste any of that stuff on this tank. I mean, it doesn't affect the fish in any way, so we're all good there. Right, let's get it drained down and take them out. So the fish are in, all okay and doing well. Now let's get this tank cleaned up quickly and then we can get started. Right, we are ready to go. I guess the first thing to do is open up this bag of compost, see what we're dealing with. I've never actually looked at it properly before, to be honest, and then we can get first layer in. And then once we've got that first layer in, we can cap it all and then decide on our hardscape. Okay, I got my old trusty green bowl. Let's take a little look at this stuff. Oh, I just flicked it everywhere. Take a look at it. Right, from what I can tell there, it's like normal compost, but it hasn't got any of the extra fertilizers, that kind of thing in. So it's had stuff removed to ensure that it's not, going to shoot up the nitrates, that kind of thing. It's all stabilizing, it's all good stuff. So I'm going to put a nice thick layer down and then let's get capping on top. Okay, nice little base layer now. So as I said, cap it all off with sand, because if you fill that up with water, that's just floating everywhere. It does waterlog obviously, but we still need to lock it down. Yeah, so make sure you pour in the foreground and the edges first, and then that stops the soil sort of getting pushed anywhere. Now it's all locked in that central area, and now we can go all on top as well. Okay, we've got a really awesome base to start there. I've decided I want to do a couple of little island compositions, you know, just not too complicated, just sticking up one there, a load of rocks all around it, then we can get planting, because to be honest, I want to have a lot of planting space, because I really want to see what this soil can do. And over here in my store, I've got absolutely tons of wood to choose from. Probably going to choose some of this. This stuff looks pretty cool, doesn't it? It's staying quite narrow and going straight up, and that's the kind of look I want to go for. These are probably a bit too big though, although that one there could help, that could go towards it. Anyway, I'll see what I can do. Okay, so I kind of got a like dual island thing going on there, but I'm playing around with it. I'm not completely happy. It's got potential, but I'd like to shift it all around a bit more. Yeah, it just doesn't sort of feel right yet, so just keep going. If you find that this is the same for you, keep going until it does feel right. Right, as you can see there, I did a lot of messing around, taking out, putting out again, but this is what I accidentally came up with. I didn't like any of them at all, so I took them out, put them back in again, eventually found something that worked. So I was going for like a sort of explosion, do you know what I mean? So like a central. I was going to do a triangular composition, so for those of you that don't know, triangular composition is when the hardscape flows from the top corner of either side and flows downwards to another corner. This is more of an island composition, so it's in the center of the tank pretty much. There's quite a lot of space behind it for plants and that kind of thing, or maybe not, keep it simple. But I think this will do well with lots of plants because of the substrate we've put in. But if it was just a sandy base, you might want to keep all of the plants on the hardscape. It would look really cool with a tank like this, wouldn't it? Look at that, loads of detail going on. And it's been a long time since I used these kind of stones as well. I think the last time I used them was in my Pistogramma tank, but they've got loads of character, haven't they? Look at the, just really different, and they're quite angular. So you've got to be careful how you place it, but most of it's being hidden anyway. I might break a few bits up and get them in the foreground more as well, just for, you know, just to bring it out a little bit. But not too much though, because I want to be able to plant in it obviously. But yeah, there we go, looking great. So now, like I say, we need to add a ton of detail to that, because it's just, well, it's pretty boring like that, isn't it? Let's get loads of stones in all around the foreground, let it get looking rough, and like I say, smash up a few of these rocks to make smaller ones, just for detail, chucking them in randomly. It's going to look great. Okay, loads of detail, looking good. Now, I am not sure at all if this wood will float. It's never been underwater, so to be on the safe side, I'm going to glue it all to the rocks using... So here I've got 100% cotton wool pads. You just tear them up and then put a load of super glue on them, and given time, cyanoacrylate super glue by the way guys. Sometimes you can use the gel, but in this one there's some big gaps to fill here between the rock and the wood. So I'll pack that full of the cotton wool, add this stuff, and then if you want it to go like rock hard pretty much instantly, you can add some bicarbonate of soda or baking soda, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, that makes it go like react instantly. So you can see there guys, look, the whole thing's smoking. Don't worry, it's not on fire. That's the all the mixture like reacting together, the glue, the wool and the baking soda, and yeah, that just means it's like going rock hard. It only smokes for a few seconds and then that's it, it's like done. Like that's solid now. So to zoom out, we're in, everything's locked in. Don't worry about these sort of sharp or angular edges you can see. This is where we're going to put in our Anubias and that kind of stuff, Bucephalandra, all those cool plants that hide all the bits we don't want to see. Mosses as well, and if I do put a good amount of mosses in here, I'm going to keep up with the trimming. You know, it's been going really well on the opposite side over here. So this tank has had, the sparkling Gourami tank, this has had a lot of trimming and I've kept right up on it. In fact, it's due again because the moss is looking great, look, but it could do with, you know, just cutting back. And in fact, I could probably use some of that in the new scape as well. Right then, that's the main shape or structure set up. That's the hard bit. That's the bit that takes the most amount of time, I'd say. Not always, but like if it's not just gone perfect straight away, you'll probably have to mess around quite a bit like I did until you get it just right. Don't carry on at that point until you get it perfect. Perfect for you anyway. Right, guess what? Now we can start the planting. We got down here is a load of new ones. I'm not using all of these by any means. I've got a load stocked up ready for my African river tank I'm going to be creating soon. We can use some of them. I've got some nice Java ferns in there. I think that's the Narrow. No, that's Trident. And then we've got Hygrophilipina feeder behind it. A massive Java fern there, but again, saving that one. We've got loads of crypts we can use. I'm really interested to see how well the crypts do in that environment. We've got loads of Anubias as well, loads of Bucephalandra, more different types of crypts. Pagostum stellatus, and I can never say that one. And then I've also got a load more plants in here. We've got loads of different Anubiases, amazing Anubias they are. Again, I'm saving a lot of the Java ferns and Anubias for the African river tank. But round here, look, we've got some gorgeous S. repens. I definitely want to see how they react to that sort of organic layer underneath. I have no idea, to be honest, but hopefully they stay looking as amazing as they are now. And we've got a load of Monte Carlo, HC Cuba and Glossostigma, so I'm going to give all three of those a go and see how it turns out. They might all wilt away, they might not work at all, but it's worth trying, isn't it? So I'll know for future builds then. But I haven't just got plants that have been grown immersed. I've got a load that have been grown underwater as well, like down here for instance. This is just like, I've got a load of reds there that I can just trim out. We've got some H-Ra, Rotala H-Ra. We've got some Rotala Macadandra, and we've got some Ludwigias and that look really good as well. Yeah, so there's so much to choose from. Let's just get planting. First of all though, I want to close up some of these like awkwardy bits, you know, and cover up where we've glued everything down. And for that, I've got a massive selection here. Well, it's not massive, but a good selection of different plants and Anubias that I've used from previous scapes. We've got some fern as well here, some Java fern. There we go. It looks better than that, but so yeah, I'm just going to use a load of these to fill in those areas. Right, there we go, there's all of our epiphyte plants. Now, epiphyte is just a posh word for sticking on the wood or sticking on the rocks. Right, next we can move on to the plantable plants. Does that sound silly? Plantable plants? Well, I'll go with it. Right, that's looking insane. There's a lot of green there though. Remember, that's enough green. We're going to now start doing different sort of colour plants to give it that really colourful pop. On a nice big red focal point in the middle there, and then reds coming up at the back and that sort of it. Oh, it should look great, shouldn't it? Okay, I've got a few red plants in there now. I just want to fill it up and plant the rest of the stems in the background area. I find it really hard to plant when there's no water because I can't just see how they're sitting. So yeah, just quickly fill it up. Okay, we're looking good. Now, just while everything's sort of clearing up, it's a bit dark there. There we go. Yeah, just whilst everything's sort of clearing up, see it's a little bit hazy still. Good time to talk about the filter. So as you can see, we've got some nice stainless steel pipes in there. Those are custom ones. They don't come with the filter setup. but they run down the back. Look, the tubes go through the desktop, and then it sits into this is a Awase 250 Thermo. So the good thing about the Awase range, of the Thermo range anyway, they had the heaters built in, which can be perfect because I've got a ram going in here and I want to get a female, so we've got a pair, and they need to have a certain temperature if they're going to do any breeding, so they need to have around 28, 29 degrees Celsius. I'll put that up here in Fahrenheit. Some people say you don't need to go that high and they've had breeding without it, but the majority say that's the best for breeding, so we'll give that a go. But obviously before any of that, we need to start getting our stem plants in that back area. I just want some there. I'm going to leave that as a negative space, otherwise it's going to look like a massive block of plants, and I've got that in plenty of other tanks. So yeah, negative space over there where the inlet and outlet is, and then just build up this area to around here with stem plants, I think. Again, I'm going to go for more reds. We've got that nice little patch of reds there now, haven't we? And another nice big load in the back there is going to look so good. Right, so it's the next day. The tank has cleared up beautifully. It's like absolutely perfect. Now it's time to put the fish in. We need to do it straight away because obviously the filter on this tank has been used to a certain amount of waste going through it. And if we don't get the fish in straight away, there'll be no food for the bacteria in there. So that's why, you've got to move things quickly when you're trying to keep a filter going. All I've got to do now is catch them all. Last time it was easy just to pull all of that out, all of the pearlweed, and then it's just a case of scooping them up. Looks like we've got one ember tetra there. And the rest of them are all at the back. Well, I might have to give it a minute before I try and catch them. There's the embers, 5 embers I've got. There we go. There's the golden ram as well. So I'll just give it a couple of minutes just to settle because, well, actually, if they come to the front of that, I'll be fine. Big net, that's what I need, big net for this one. Well, that went pretty well. I got almost all of them in one scoop, and then I just went in and got one on its own with the little net. We're ready just to put them in. So this temperature here of this tank is a little bit more than all of the others. All the others are heated to the room temperature, which is about 5 degrees or so less than what the tank is set to. So what I like to do with these pots that I always use is just stick them over the edge and hang them. Now these guys aren't going to be bothered by the light because they've just been sat underneath that light, which is way brighter. So yeah, just give them like 20 minutes or so. It's not actually as bright as that. It's like that. Give it 20 minutes or so. Not even 20 minutes, about 10 minutes to be honest, because they're not going from cold to warm, are they? And they'll be ready to put in. Okay guys, it's been about 15 minutes and now we can put the fish into their new home. Okay guys, are you ready? Here we go. Right, water's going in. The fish are coming out. Go, go, go. Now, I don't know how they're going to behave. I don't know if they're going to be like shy or nervous. Okay, Ember's gone right around the back, so see you never. But look, our golden ram right at the front here, looking straight at me. Oh, it looks beautiful. Doesn't he look beautiful? Against the reds, the greens there. Oh, that's such a good shot, isn't it? Let me get a nice side on. Oh, look at that. Look at that for a golden ram. You are stunning, aren't you? I need to get you a female. You'll be able to woo her in seconds. Oh, there's a little bit of algae on that there. That'll come off on its own, to be honest, because there's no way it's going to be able to survive in this tank, not with the maintenance I'm going to be doing. He looks happy. He looks really happy, which makes me happy. So yeah, I want to get another ram. I want to build up that collection as well of Ember Tetras. Oh, they're coming around. Come back. Yeah, I want to get loads more of the Ember Tetras, another ram, and I want to get some cories actually as well. I think it'd be really nice to put a few cories in this tank. Something interesting, quite small, maybe some pygmies. It's like a big school of pygmies would work really well in a 60 centimetre like this. Yeah, I'm really pleased with how this one's turned out. What I'll probably end up doing is, soon these are going to need trimming already, aren't they? I've just left them that long because they look really sort of natural and I didn't want to trim them and cut them off. I just think they look good for the final shots of the tank, didn't they? I'll probably end up cutting and replanting and bringing across as well at some point, so it's just like red stems in the background. Wow, it's going to look so good, isn't it?